Welcome to TrendPlainNews. Today breaking news is Trump to order Mexican border wall and curtail immigration. Washington. President Trump on Wednesday will order the construction of a Mexican border wall, the first in a series of actions this week, to crack down on immigrants and bolster national security, including slashing the number of refugees who can resettle in the United States, and blocking Syrians and others from terror-prone nations from entering, at least temporarily. The orders are among an array of national security directives Mr. Trump is considering issuing in the coming days, according to people who have seen the orders. They include reviewing whether to resume the once secret black site detention program, keep open the prison at Guantánamo Bay, and designate the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization. According to a draft, the order on detention policies would start a review of whether to reinstate the program of interrogation of high-value alien terrorists to be operated outside the United States, and whether such a program should include the use of detention facilities operated by the C.I.A. But one section of the draft would require that no person in the custody of the United States shall at any time be subjected to torture or cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment, as described by US or international law. The proposed orders could lead to sweeping and controversial changes in the way the United States conducts itself at home and around the globe in the name of security, potentially leading to the reinstatement of policies that have been repudiated by much of the world. Mr. Trump will sign the executive order for the wall during an appearance at the Department of Homeland Security on Wednesday, as Mexico's Foreign Minister, Luis Videgaray, arrives in Washington to prepare for the visit of President Enrique Peña Nieto of Mexico. Mr. Peña Nieto will be among the first foreign leaders to meet the new president at the end of the month. The border wall was a signature promise of Mr. Trump's campaign, during which he argued it is vital to gaining control over the illegal flow of immigrants into the United States. Mr. Trump is also expected to target legal immigrants as early as this week, White House officials said, by halting a decades-old program that grants refuge to the world's most vulnerable people as he begins the process of drastically curtailing it and enhancing screening procedures. In the draft of a separate executive order now being circulated inside the administration, Mr. Trump would examine the question of whether the Central Intelligence Agency should reopen its so-called black sites, secret interrogation and detention centers, that it operated overseas. Former President Barack Obama ordered the closings of all in the first week of his presidency in 2009. The black sites were a highly classified program, so their mention in an executive order would be highly unusual. The draft of a second executive order would also order a review of the Army Field Manual to determine whether to use certain enhanced interrogation techniques. Another executive order under consideration would direct the Secretary of State to determine whether to designate the Muslim Brotherhood a foreign terrorist organization. That designation has been sought by Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. The refugee policy under consideration would halt admissions from Syria and suspend it from other majority Muslim nations until the administration can study how to properly vet them. This would pave the way for the administration to slash the number of displaced people who can be resettled on American soil, and would effectively bar the entry of people from Muslim countries, including Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia, and Syria, at least for some time. The plan is in line with a ban on Muslim immigrants that Mr. Trump proposed during his campaign, arguing that such a step was warranted given concerns about terrorism. He later said he wanted to impose extreme vetting of refugees from Syria and other countries where terrorism was rampant, although the Obama administration had already instituted strict screening procedures for Syrian refugees that were designed to weed out anyone who posed a danger.